Hi, I'm Jen. Welcome to Sewing Seeds at Home. I'm going to teach you today how to Mod Podge some wooden letters. This is a technique that my girlfriend Crystal taught me how to do. This right here is my son's name. It's been hanging on his wall since he was born, and it's really simple. So it's just going to take a few minutes to do each letter. What you want to do first is run to your favorite craft store. Around here we prefer Hobby Lobby, my friends and I do, because they have a lot of sales, like 50% off. In fact, today they had one, and this letter is usually $3 each, but today they were 50% off, and this 50% off sale goes on every item at some point, and it rotates, so it's very consistent. So instead of $3 for each letter, it's only $1.50. And then the paper was 59 cents each. It's just regular scrapbook paper. They have two different sizes. They have the standard 8.5 by 11, or they have this bigger size. This actually said clearance 6 for $1, so if you can get your hands on that, that would be awesome. Okay, so what you're going to do first is you're going to take your letter, and this helps me to not get it mixed up because I've made this mistake before. It's very easy. I want to face the letter towards me, put the print on top of it so I remember which side I'm actually tracing, put it down, take your pencil, and then all you do is trace around, which I've already done on here, and I'll show you. Just take your pencil, trace it around, and then you're going to cut it out. Okay, this is super simple. So now that you've cut out your letter from your paper, you're going to take your Mod Podge. You can get this at any craft store, Michael's, Robert's Crafts, Hobby Lobby, whatever store you have in your neighborhood. It is glue. It's like you can get it as a matte or a gloss. It doesn't really matter to me whether I had a matte or a gloss. I just picked matte. Just know that the gloss will have more of a shine. And you want to make sure you have a sponge brush. I find that the sponge brushes work better than the little tiny regular paint brushes like kids use, because the sponge brush will cover more at a time, so you don't have to wait to try and fill up a huge large area. And I like the texture that it leaves on the letters. So you are going to leave a texture, as this will glaze the tops of your letters. So basically you're going to take your glue, and that's why you want to keep the lid on when you're not using it. Like in between waiting for this to dry, you're going to want to keep the lid on the Mod Podge so that it doesn't get all hardened or get one of those cakey layers on top of it. Super simple to use. It's very liquidy, very watery. I try and go in the same direction for underneath the paper and on top of the paper, because I want to make sure that there's not a lot of lumps, and that's going to be really important. I recently made this for my girlfriend for a baby shower gift because I love making it. It's so much fun for me. And once I find out the name of the baby, it's kind of exciting to put it onto letters, make it official, know it's going to hang in the baby's nursery. It's really cool. Turned out great, except one letter out of 5 I kept doing wrong. I kept having, after I glued it on like this, there were all these wrinkles in it. So I got most of the wrinkles out by just using my fingernail to dig them through, but I still had some left, and I had to improvise because I had to go to the store twice to redo the letter. And I said, I'm not going back again. So I had to improvise, and I ended up using a little decal thing from the dollar store to stick on top of it, and it was really cute. Turned out great. Okay, so all you're doing is patting that down. See, it's nice and smooth. You just want to get your paper patted down onto the glue, and you're going to let this sit and dry. Really, it's what I basically do is when I'm doing a whole row of letters for the whole name, I do the one letter, then I move on and do the others. Then by the time I go back to the first letter, it'll be ready to glue on top. See, I'm already seeing, I thought it was perfect, but it's not. It's got these little pieces to it that are sticking up. It's just the way it is. That's why these sponges work really well. It helps to really give a even coating of glue. So typically I'd wait a little longer, but just for the purpose of showing you how this works, I'm going to put the glue right on top. It's just a glaze. It's like a glazed donut. That's all it is. For me, you can do different designs. Personally, I like to go in one direction. I go up and down the letter. But like I said, my really super crafty girlfriend, Crystal, who taught me how to do this, who had it all over her daughter's room, and I thought it was just the most adorable thing. You can do this to any piece of wood. She does it to furniture in her bedroom. I mean, it's crazy. She does it to everything. It's an awesome, cheap way of decorating different things. So what you can do, instead of going all one direction and having all of your stripes going the same direction, you could go across also, and it doesn't matter how much of this you put on, just to give it another random texture, going across so that you went down already and now you're going across. And the reason you want to wait to let it dry when you stuck it onto the wood is because right now I'm starting to see little bubbles, and that's because I didn't let it sit and dry for long enough. And then the other thing you can do for a different kind of texture is you can kind of do X's like you would do to texture a painted wall with a glaze. That's all this is a glaze. Like if you've ever painted glaze on a wall, it's kind of fun. You can do anything you want to. So you could do little textures like that. Okay. Okay, so then you would let this sit and dry, of course. I usually just give it like a couple hours. So we've got the different designs. The other thing is some letters will come automatically with little places to hang them on the wall. Unfortunately for my girlfriend, who I just made these letters for, a different type of letter, they have a few different varieties at Hobby Lobby. The other ones were flat and they didn't have any kind of hole in the back. They weren't deep. It was not deep enough to be able to have a hole in the back. So I came up with an idea that I'm just going to hang a piece of ribbon from the back of her letters, because I gave them to her without a way of hanging it on her wall and I felt really bad. So if you just take this on the back of your letter, if there were no holes, or if you just want to make it really super cute, get some ribbon for the back, and you just take your staple gun. I'm going to be really careful not to shoot myself. I usually would lay this flat after it's dried. Staple guns are awesome when it comes to ribbons on wood because they work really well. And now you can hang it from the ribbon in a girl's room. Isn't that so cute? I'm going to keep this for our next little baby. We've already picked out a name. Obviously it starts with E. So this will be for her room if it's a girl. If it's a boy, I'll just have to go and spend another, what was it, $2.22 to buy this. So there you go. That's how to Mod Podge, and I hope you had fun, and it was great teaching you. Check out our website, sewingseedsathome.blogspot.com, and we've got a whole bunch of other ideas for you. Thanks.